All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 1, No One Can Take Her Country Away, 1. Chapter 1 No One Can Take Her Country Away, 1. Queen Yun's jealousy, poisoned concubine Shu, concubine Chen, Zhang Meiren, Li Kairen, and caused miscarriage of noble concubine, reminiscent of past love, abolished the post, and entered the cold palace. Emperor He Qingshan's voice was indifferent. He Qingshan, do you think I am that kind of person too? No response. The palace people gloat at the misfortune and threw the deposed Empress Yun into the cold palace, and then walked away. That night, he died of illness. I gave up everything to fight for him at the age of 14, and since then I have been dressed in military uniform. I remember the year when my little daughter was born. In order to repel the attacking enemy army, I immediately led the soldiers to fight for 3 days and 3 nights without rest. My body was completely empty, seriously ill. My father lost his life to protect him. For him, I lost everything. In the dark space, there is no sunlight and it is a little cold. There is a well with white light in the middle. A woman with disheveled hair hugs the well and weeps softly. This is the soul of the deposed Queen Yun. Her experience was sympathetic, but the girl sitting on the boulder looked indifferent. The girl was leaning on a rusty giant sword, wearing a black robe, her hair was black, and half of the silver mask only covered her right face. Suddenly became quiet, and there was no sound of the wind blowing. Empress Yun was apprehensive, her fingers clenched tightly, and she did not dare to speak again. You continue, listen. Xianyan said, her voice cold and indifferent. After the dethronement, Yun Shi became more and more uncertain. Can his wishes really come true here? At first I thought it was Ling Shi who confuses him, but that night Ling Shi came to the cold palace to let me understand the truth. Ha ha ha. He doesn't know anything at all. He just wants to get rid of my confidant from the beginning. After the abolition, Yun Shi frantically pushed back his hair, his face was pale. I didn't expect the end of my half-life battle. I didn't think about being an emperor at first. Xian Yan leaned on the giant sword lazily, I'm willing to die like this. If I die, I have to pull 2 backs. The country you've conquered, he will be the emperor, and he will dare to sit on the beauties, if you want me to chop him with a knife. The giant sword responded with a buzzing sound, and the abolished Empress Yun was frightened. I thought, let's talk about women being emperors. Oh, prejudice. I know. I was wrong. After the dethronement, Yun's expression was decadent. I heard that my wish can be fulfilled here, as long as my children can live a safe life, I can pay any price. System 666, cough, cough. Insert a word, Queen Yun needs to pay half of her soul. My wish is for my children to be safe. Empress Yun looked at the ball of light bouncing around Qinyan's legs. System 666, this depends on the host, I'm only responsible for the introduction task, you can't impress her, and if she refuses, I can't help it. The system that is forced to bind has a hard life. Don't look at how big the host is, in fact, he is born with divine power, and he has seen her tear up many systems with his own eyes. Those scrapped systems are still in the warehouse. Come on, be strong, he will definitely survive. Don't take revenge. Xian Yan's beautiful eyes were puzzled, where do you want to chop him first? I can help you. After the abolition, Yun Shi frantically shook his head, no, you can't be too greedy. There are too many wishes, she is afraid that the success rate will be divided. I grant your wish. Xian Yan pulled up the giant sword, and the space was shaking because of it. After the abolition, Yun Shi looked at Xian Yan and jumped down the well with excitement, a little worried. Master host, wait for me. Alas, I have a bad premonition in my heart, I hope the first mission goes smoothly, I am really afraid that the host will be unhappy and tear him to pieces. The rain stopped. The 3-day and 3-night battle finally ended, and General Yun, the wife of King Ningxuan, won a great victory. General, all the people in the tent are slaves, what should we do with them? The young general next to him asked, most of them are young and beautiful men and women. It is self-evident what to do here. The voice of begging for mercy made Xianyan frown, and her body was uncomfortable, especially the burning colic in her lower abdomen. Ball had already instilled all her memories into her, and now was the time when the original owner gave birth to her youngest daughter, after the victory of the 3-day and 3-night battle. Notes for reading. Female lead, female lead, female lead. Important things are said 3 times, don't look at the male lead, only the female lead is the strongest here. The male protagonist should also stand aside. The heroine is indifferent and needs to take it slow and focus on the plot. There is nothing here that is greasy at the beginning, but it will be sweet later. The full text is an empty world, with many private settings, refusing to textual research for the plot service. This book is double clean, 1v1, the heroine is very strong, no need to question. The small world is the body of the wisher and does not belong to the heroine. The heroine can withdraw and return to her own world at any time. It's nothing, after completing the task, they will leave the world ahead of time. Small world will use other people's bodies to complete tasks, these identities are various, maybe there is an old lady identity. I pay more attention to the story. If all the small worlds are written by little girls, it is too limited. In the later small worlds, it is very likely that the original owner will return to his own world to be reborn, this is usually because the original owner has his own chance. So really please don't worry about the body of the small world, this is not the heroine's. Don't ask me this question again, it's a hassle to explain. If you really can't accept the identity of the original owner of the small world, don't watch it as soon as possible, so as not to get entangled. When the male protagonist goes to the small world, he will find the boy's body and reach an exchange with the other party. In the world with the male protagonist, both are innocent identities. In the original world, the female protagonist has been single for 10,000 years, and the male protagonist is also without any experience in love. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 2, No One Can Take Her Country Away, 2. Chapter 2 No One Can Take Her Country Away, 2. Qian Yan has never experienced giving birth to a child. Her tired and broken body made her very uncomfortable, and the heart-piercing pain in her stomach made her want to faint. 3 days of war, she didn't know how the original owner persevered. Ask your identity and send it back to your place of origin. Homeless people will be settled in accordance with the procedures. Qian Yan glanced at the men and women who were shivering in the corner. This is war, and it is cruel. She had seen such a scene too many times before, and there was almost no fluctuation in her heart. General, your face is not very good, you need to recuperate. Facing the light, the people next to him found that Qian Yan's face was as white as paper, and her walking was obviously not as smooth as before. Thinking of her giving birth a few days ago, her heart suddenly became astringent. The battle is a victory, the general should go back to rest first, and we will take care of the rest. Okay. Qian Yan turned to leave the tent, the sound of chains mopping the floor sounded, and then she felt the corner of her clothes being pulled. She subconsciously wanted to kick away, but unexpectedly the other party dodged very quickly, and she looked back. Sister, don't be so fierce, I'm not a bad person. I'm weak and easy to be kicked. Qian Yan. The young man in front of him was wearing a white coat, but it was a pity that the white coat was a little dirty. The boy's face is fairly clean, his eyes are bright and clear, and there is a faint glow of water. Qian Yan lowered her eyes and found that the hand he was holding on to the edge of his clothes was a little dusty. Dirty all over, but it can be seen that he is a person who loves cleanliness very much. They locked me all the time, I couldn't wash it, it was a little dirty. The boy explained, with an innocent expression, my sister let me go, give me some water, and it will be clean in a while. My sister is also dirty and needs to be washed. The meaning of the last sentence is obvious, everyone is dirty, and no one should dislike anyone. Don't be stunned, your body has suffered a serious loss, and you need to rest in bed immediately. Seeing that Qian Yan didn't respond, the young man continued, otherwise, your body will be scrapped in a few years, let alone holding a knife, even walking will be hard. Qian Yan was finally a little interested, she aimed at the boy taller than her, you know medicine? Not only am I good at medicine, everyone calls me a genius doctor. The young man proudly showed off his skills, I am able to be safe here, without suffering other things, because of my first-hand medical skills. Qian Yan taunted, it's so powerful, and it will be locked up. Why don't you take 2 pills to kill them all? The boy was a little stunned. Yes, why didn't he think of it? Master didn't specifically teach him to prepare poison, which doesn't mean he can't figure it out by himself. If he had put some poison on him earlier, these guys wouldn't have to die. Could they lock him up? Ah, how annoying. Seeing the annoyed look of the young man, Qianyan grabbed the giant sword and gently touched the chain on the young man's foot, and the chain broke. The young man saw this, climbed up the pole, and quickly stretched out his hands, indicating that there is still here. Qianyan did the same. The boy who regained his freedom showed her a bright smile, but he did not infect her. This young man is not a simple thing at first glance, so he can talk so much, he must be calculating. Sister, what's your name? My name is Sun Zihuai. The young man introduced himself, got close to Qianyan, and didn't bother to tug on her clothes. He said to himself, from today onwards, I am yours. There is no repayment for the kindness of saving lives, only the promise of oneself. Qianyan glanced at him. Okay, remember what you said, and you will block the sword for me at any time in the future. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 3, No one can take her country away, 3. Chapter 3 No one can take her country away, 3. Sun Zihuai smiled stiffly, and said without a smile, as long as you are willing. It's not that I'm in pain, what's there to bear? Didn't you say you want to repay me? Sun Zihuai, sister, I have a lot of skills, so I don't necessarily have to block the sword. You have to use everything you can. Oh, let's wait and see. Qianyan left coldly. The System 666 indicates that this is the normal operation of adults. Boy, take it, and think about routines, see how adults tear you apart. The next day, when Qianyan woke up, the first thing she smelled was the smell of rice, and when she opened her eyes, she saw the boy sitting beside the bed. Sun Zihuai was still dressed in white, and he didn't know where he got it. He looked much cooler than last night. Those eyes are still very big and watery, no different from yesterday, and the cunning inside is still there. Let's eat something. I originally wanted to do acupuncture for you, but the others didn't agree, so they asked someone to watch me. Sun Zihuai glanced at the person standing at the door staring at him without blinking, with a very aggrieved expression. Qianyan didn't move the porridge in the bowl. Sun Zihuai asked, Sister doesn't like it? You have a taste first. Sun Zihuai instantly understood the reason, his eyes hurt, and Qianyan was unmoved. System 666 secretly complained, when will a superficial human understand that adults will not be deceived by beauty? She does not know how much beauty she has torn with her hands. Sun Zihuai pouted, resigned to his fate and tasted the porridge. What kind of bad thoughts could he have? He actually guarded him and didn't trust him. He, Sun Zihuai, wanted to prescribe medicine. Did he need to prescribe it so clearly? Seeing Qianyan eating porridge, Sun Zihuai couldn't help but say, those people outside come to me to ask for medicine, and I may not agree to kowtow for a year. You actually doubt me. Is too unscrupulous. Young Master Sun, you are talking too much. Don't disturb the general, she needs to be quiet. Can you take care of my body? Qianyan ignored the interaction between the two. This young man has no martial arts skills. If he really acts as a demon, she will slap him to death. It would be great if she could take care of this body, even if it wasn't her own. She didn't want to drag her scarred body to work. A confident smile appeared on Sun Zihuai's face. Yes. Good. My elder sister is a daughter and doesn't know how to take care of her own body. If there is an accident, what will happen to your child? What about your husband? I don't feel sorry for you either. It seems that he doesn't care about my elder sister at all. Qianyan felt that this was a bit strange, very similar to what the concubine said to the dead old emperor. Her eyes suddenly brightened when she thought about it. You can tell fortunes. How do you know? Sun Zihuai was surprised. You actually know my housekeeping skills, and I do know how to look. Qianyan suddenly realized, does this guy think she will be the emperor in the future? So coax her first, then take the top. I don't know if I want to be a prince or a concubine. Sun Zihuai was perplexed. This beautiful sister has a strange face, obviously short-lived. Why are they connected again? The connection is strange, as if it can be interrupted at any time. Is there such a face under the sky? He had to look closely. Stay by your side during this time to help me recuperate my body. On the second day, Qianyan led the army back to the city. At Sun Zihuai's strong request, she lay in the carriage. Report, the general led the army back to the city. Oh. 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 The general has returned from the victory. The general has returned with the spoils. The loud cries of the soldiers in the city made Ling Shire's ears buzz, and she was now in He Qingshan's arms. As these three shouts fell, before she could react, she was pushed aside by He Qingshan. If she hadn't gotten used to this man, she would have fallen to the ground. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 4, No one can take her country away, 4. Chapter 4 No one can take her country away, 4. Ling Shire neatly arranged her clothes, and then stood aside, as if she was just an ordinary maid next to He Qingshan. Madam is back. Your Majesty hurried to greet her. Don't keep Madam waiting. Ling Shirer said with red eyes. He Qingshan reacted and walked over to wipe her tears. At this time, there is only grievance for you. She won't mind someone staying by my side, but in front of her, there will always be obstacles. No matter what, I have to give her a few. We can't do too much. When everything is settled, I will give you an identity. She knows it. Your Majesty is at ease. Shirer understands everything and will not cause trouble to the madam and the king. I don't ask for any status in the future, as long as I can stay by the king's side and always be a maid. Shirer is also willing. Shirer cares about the king. I'm willing to do anything. It's a pity that Shirer is just a weak woman. She can't do something as powerful as madam. She can only be a funny person for the king. He Qingshan was moved. Yenner is good, but she was beautiful in the past. But after several years of battle, the skin has become rough and dark, and the appearance is no longer before. He gave birth to 2 more children, and the marks on his stomach made him nauseous. He likes Yenner's heroic invincibility and Shirer's beautiful appearance. He Qingshan took people outside the city and looked into the distance with an affectionate look. It is this appearance that deceives everyone. After waiting for a while, He Qingshan was a little dizzy from the sun, but he still insisted. After half an hour, he finally saw the returning army, but he didn't see the heroic woman on the horse as before, and he was still stunned. To be honest, at this moment, he was still a little flustered. But thinking of the previous good news, she should be fine. A carriage was in front of the army, and he understood that she might be injured and was in the carriage at this time. The carriage slowly drove in, and He Qingshan hurriedly greeted him, with a smile on his face and a little worried. Just as he was about to lift the curtain of the carriage, the curtain had already been lifted by a slender, white hand, and the immortal-like youth jumped down from it. The boy came down and turned around, inadvertently pushed him away, and opened the carriage curtain again in his place, when Runru's voice came again with a slightly milky voice, "Sister, get off the carriage." He Qingshan frowned upon hearing the boy's name, but he didn't have much thought. He knew how much Qianyan liked him. This young man called her sister again, presumably it was nothing. Qianyan got out of the carriage, and naturally put his hand on Sun Zihuai's arm. "Slow down, you're not feeling well now." Sun Zihuai urged, looking at the ground. His voice became cold, the milky voice disappeared, showing a threatening meaning. Why doesn't anyone bring a stool? He Qingshan reacted and turned back. Yenner is injured, hurry up and bring a stool. While watching him come, Qianyan was already riding in the carriage, and she must have been injured. In her memory, she had hardly ever returned in a carriage, and was always on horseback. Qianyan didn't jump down directly, her eyes were on He Qingshan's face. He Qingshan hurriedly greeted him, "Yenner, you finally came back. I've been worried about you these past few days. Once you come back, my heart will be fulfilled. I have headache." Qianyan really didn't want to talk to this person. Looking at him, she wanted to cut to death with a sword. Her sword trembled, obviously she had the same idea. The matter is not settled, and it is not easy for the world to accept a woman as the emperor. When the time comes, all parties will unite to beat her when they find an opportunity. This person, please keep the situation stable for the time being. Qian Yan remembered the original owner's wish, asking her to help take care of the 2 children. Where are the 2 children? Take me to see. System 666 is very gratified, the host finally remembers the task. Yenner, who is this son? A genius doctor. He Qing Shan was completely relieved, and bowed to Sun Zihuai, his face full of gratitude. Thank you son for helping Yenner to adjust her body. Okay. Sun Zihuai was very indifferent, he didn't even look at He Qing Shan, not everyone could get him to treat him with a straight face. This thief-eyed guy is not pleasing to the eye at first glance, and he doesn't deserve his attention. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 5, No one can take her country away, 5. Chapter 5 No one can take her country away, 5. He Qing Shan felt uncomfortable. What does the boy's nose upturned mean? Remembering that some masters do have quirks, he can only bear it. Qian Yan narrowed her eyes slightly, can she bear it? No wonder this He Qing Shan does nothing, and in the end he can still control the world. She touched the giant sword, and she will play tricks again. When this guy is useless, just cut it with one knife. He Qing Shan's feet rose a touch of cool air and rushed towards the top of his head. He felt strange in his heart that there was no wind. System 666 was extremely frightened, and kept praying in his heart, he could cut anyone, as long as he didn't cut him. All are fragile and cannot withstand a knife. Madam, this is the soup that the king specially instructed the cook to cook for you. Ling Shirer came to Qian Yan with a cup of soup, her eyebrows lowered and pleasing to the eyes, she really looked like an ordinary maid. Who would have imagined that she would be able to get a concubine in the future? The soup is a good soup, even with some ingredients added, there is nothing but a few mouthfuls of saliva. As long as Qian Yan was there, Ling Shirer could only swallow her voice like this, and she felt really uncomfortable. Now it is basically 2 points of the world, the king still needs the other party, she can't do other small actions, she can only reward the other party with a few spit. Madam, you have just given birth. If you don't make up for it properly and your body suffers serious losses, then it will be bad. Ling Shirer whispered to Qian Yan who was standing beside the crib, guessing that Qian Yan should have given birth to a daughter. I just went out to fight, I miss it, and I want to see more. Qian Yan looked at the sleeping baby girl, thinking in her mind, would she be so cute when she was a child? It should be said, was she so cute when she was a child? Unfortunately, she was only cute for 3 days. She subconsciously touched the position of her right face, and suddenly remembered that it was someone else's body, and there was no burn scar on her face. The original owner could pay any price to have her protect her children. Why was her biological mother cruel and set a big fire in her house just for the favor of the concubine? She didn't die, but half of her face was ruined, and she was called ugly by other siblings since she was a child. Madam, the young lady is sleeping soundly. Madam can see the young lady every day. Don't be in a hurry. You should drink the soup first, it will not be good if it's cold. Ling Shirer urged again, this is what the king ordered, Shirer will do it. If not, you will be blamed by the king. Qian Yan finally set her eyes on Ling Shirer, the other party lowered her head slightly, even so, she still caught sight of Ling Shirer's mouth twitching. Not only that, the opponent's fingers tightened, abnormally tightened, and his body was still a little tight, obviously doing something bad. Shirer, help me taste the temperature of the soup. Before Ling Shirer could respond, Qian Yan glanced at Sun Zihuai. Sun Zihuai said that I can't eat anything too hot recently. Sun Zihuai, who was standing beside him, was puzzled and quickly reacted. Flattening his mouth, he still cooperated, yes, sister can't eat too hot recently, you should try the taste first, and it should not be too salty. Ling Shirer's face was stiff, she spit several mouthfuls in the soup. Even though it was her own, she vomited it out and then ate it, and the thought of it made her sick to her stomach, it was really disgusting. But as a maid, she is not qualified to refuse the master's request. Yes, ma'am. Ling Shirer felt sick and scooped a little soup with a spoon. If Qian Yan hadn't been staring at her, she would have just fooled her. Now she can only be ruthless, close her eyes, open her mouth and put the soup into her mouth. Resisting the feeling of extreme nausea, she swallowed the soup with difficulty and almost vomited it out, it was disgusting. How? Qian Yan asked. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 6, No one can take her country away, 6. Chapter 6 No one can take her country away, 6. Ling Shire resisted the strong nausea, and showed a proud expression. Madam, the soup is really delicious, neither cold nor hot, neither salty nor bland. It seems that you like it very much. Qian Yan came to such a conclusion and greeted the other maids. Go get a bowl. Sure is usually obedient and well-behaved, and I can fight with peace of mind when she is by the king's side to take care of the daily life and food. She loves her so much. Give her a bowl of this soup. Master host, why didn't you reward all of them? Leave some for He Qing Shan. It's called a bowl of water. System 666 wanted to remind him aloud that it was wrong to use the idiom in this place. The context was wrong, and he was afraid of being torn apart, so he could only keep silent. Ling Shire was about to refute subconsciously, but Qian Yan grabbed the words. Don't be sorry, it's rare to see you like something. I usually don't want this or that for you, you are too honest. But a bowl of soup, you still don't want it. To refuse? Sun Zihuai looked at the cup of soup with a strange expression, and then looked at Qian Yan, who had no expression on his face, just like before. With a cold face, he said the most considerate words, but every sentence was like a knife stab. Sure heirs Xie madam's reward. Ling Shi's eyes were flushed with tears, and those who didn't know felt that she was moved. Who would have guessed that she was crying because of disgust? Drink it, if you don't drink it, I'm really worried. I heard that you often share your things with others, and don't keep some for yourself. If you don't finish drinking, you will share it with others in a while, right? A faint smile appeared on Qian Yan's lips, but unfortunately that face was as pale as ever, and no one doubted it. Because of several years of war, the original owner was not allowed to show the appearance of being weak and ordinary women. Ling Shire often divides other people's things, not stupid, but to win people's hearts with some gadgets. She held a bowl and looked at Qian Yan with tears in her eyes. Madam's grace today, sure will never forget it in eternity. Ling Shire raised her head and drank the soup in large mouthfuls. She suppressed the strong nausea, put the bowl on the tray, and then wiped the corner of her mouth. Thank you for the reward, sure will retire first. If she stayed any longer, she might vomit out in public, and it would be hard to explain at that time. She didn't have the interest to watch Qian Yan drink again. In her opinion, she worked so hard, how could Qian Yan drink it? Qian Yan glanced at the bowl of soup, and thought between her brows, follow me to see the king, I wonder if he uses this soup. Sun Zihuai guessed that there was something bad in the soup, and his heart was itching. If there were still people around, he really wanted to lean over and ask what was in the soup. The face of the maid just now was not good looking. He is a genius doctor, and of course he can tell from his face whether a person is sad or happy. Sun Zihuai quickly followed Qian Yan beside Qian Yan, looking like he was watching the fun. When Qian Yan looked at him sideways, he pursed his lips and made a very well-behaved appearance. Qian Yan looked away, and he put away his smile. His appearance was cold, and his face changed faster than turning a book. Why did Yenner come? He Qing Shan is really busy counting the spoils and looking at the storage ledger. He has no martial arts and cannot go to war. In terms of strategically employing people and winning over people's hearts, it's really good, especially in terms of bending and stretching, forbearance and calculation, there are really few people who can match. Today's soup is good. Qian Yan asked someone to bring the soup to He Qing Shan. I heard that the king has not eaten yet. He Qing Shan was relieved this time. Before, he felt that Qian Yan was a little cold to him, and he thought that the other party was not satisfied. It seems that the other party is still the same, but the perennial battle has changed her character. Her whole heart is still his, otherwise how could she willingly fight on the battlefield? Drink soon, I'll watch you drink. Qian Yan urged, her beautiful eyes flashing with anticipation. A new book is open. Happiness. Don't be stingy to cast your votes for the little cuties. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 7, No one can take her country away, 7. Chapter 7 No one can take her country away, 7. Although Qianyan looked indifferent, He Qingshan automatically made up his mind how much Qianyan liked him and cared about him. Without any hesitation, he picked up the soup cup and started drinking. Your Majesty, you're busy first, I'm a little tired. Qianyan turned and left. He Qingshan didn't mind at all, and drank the soup happily, thinking it was really delicious. Just in time, Ling Shire, who almost vomited out her stomach after vomiting several times, came back and moved pitifully to He Qingshan's side. Sure, your face doesn't look very good, what's wrong? Ling Shire didn't dare to speak ill of Qianyan in front of He Qingshan. This man is smart. Unless he wants to, don't try to sow discord, she just needs to pretend to be kind and stupid. I feel a little uncomfortable, maybe I caught a cold last night. He didn't mention Qianyan's reward for her soup. When she thought about that, she felt sick in her heart, but unfortunately she couldn't spit out anything. He Qingshan originally wanted to hug Ling Shire, but remembering Qianyan's return, he reached out and put his hand on her shoulder, and only patted her. Call the doctor later to have a look, let's go and rest today, nothing to do. It's better now, it's fine, thank you for your concern. Come, drink some soup tonic, this soup is delicious. Ling Shire didn't look carefully, and she was unpredictably fed by He Qingshan with a spoon. After eating the familiar taste, she took a look at the soup goo. The brain exploded in an instant, and the nausea that had been suppressed rose again, spit it out, and spit it directly on He Qingshan's face. He Qingshan was also a little stunned by the vomiting. He felt a little disgusted by this feeling, and subconsciously pushed Ling Shire away and jumped far. Ling Shire felt very uncomfortable, but she was used to this man, and she would be a noble person in the future after getting through the present. As long as she listens to this man, she will be a superior person in the future. Yun Qianyan's ending may not be as good as hers. Don't look at the opponent's battle on the battlefield. He Qingshan's heart is long gone from the opponent's body. No man would like a bruised body. An emperor, can he tolerate a woman stronger than him? Still going to fight. Your Majesty forgives your sins. Ling Shire knelt down quickly. Shire's body is really uncomfortable, it's not intentional, Your Majesty, don't dislike Shire. She was really scared about this. He Qingshan was very disgusted in his heart, but he didn't show it. It was rare to have such a woman who suits his heart. Go down and wash, I know you didn't mean it. Thank you, King. Ling Shire didn't dare to stay any longer, so as not to leave a deep impression on the other party. Xiao Ran went out. Sister, what exactly is in that soup? Qianyan chased the others out and was looking at the original owner's young daughter. He Wenshuan was sound asleep. I don't know. Qianyan replied, she really didn't know, she just thought there should be something bad in it. Sun Zihuai, really? If you want to know, you can ask Ling Shire, she knows best. Sun Zihuai was a little aggrieved, you are annoying me. No. She just can't get close to people, she's always been like this. Sun Zihuai really didn't understand, why did she like to see the baby's face so much, did it look good? System 666, in some small worlds, there will be panacea. When the host finds these medicines, you can heal your face. Don't be too envious of this little girl. You think I envy her? Isn't it? I don't envy her at all. System 666 can't say more, so as not to be torn. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 8, No one can take her country away, 8. Chapter 8 No one can take her country away, 8. Qianyan didn't stay in the house for a while, when he heard the sound of trotting outside, and a child about 6 years old rushed into the house. The child's eyes turned red when he saw her, he made a gesture of reaching out to hug her, ran in front of her, threw himself on her and hugged her, with a crying voice, Mother. Qianyan was hugged violently, a little uncomfortable. Although she was not used to being in such close contact with someone, she didn't push it away. She didn't want to hurt the child for no reason, and she didn't forget this mission. She recalled the original owner's attitude towards the child in her mind, and the original owner rarely held the child. The original owner has no time at all, and lingering on the feelings of the child will make the child reluctant to part with her, and she will not be able to go to war with peace of mind. In the heart of the original owner, there was a lot of indebtedness to this pair of children. The original owner thought that by handing over the two children to He Qingshan, he would definitely nurture them well, but He Qingshan had no such plans from the beginning. In He Qingshan's heart, He Wenxian could never inherit the lineage. He didn't teach He Wenxian much, just let He Wenxian play as he wanted, and let his husband teach some relatively simple things. That gentleman is the one arranged by He Qingshan. Xian Yan patted He Wenxian's head. He Wenxian glanced at her secretly, and found that he was not pushed away by his mother today. He was slightly relieved. He wanted to hold her for a longer time, just a little longer. I'll find you a teacher. Mother, are you talking to the child? Yeah. Xian Yan responded indifferently. When she realized that Sun Zihuai had run away, he should be able to teach you everything except martial arts. You can use this person as you like, his life is mine, my name is Sun Zihuai. Sun Zihuai came in and heard this sentence, not knowing whether to cry or laugh. Mother, are you talking about him? He Wenxian looked at Sun Zihuai with suspicion. Can he teach children? Don't all gentlemen have long beards? Not so good looking. Sun Zihuai was unhappy. That's an ordinary gentleman. I'm not ordinary. My talent is better than theirs. But you think I'm good looking, and I have vision. What did you do? Qian Yan asked. Sun Zihuai approached her ear and whispered, I'll ask Ling Shire what she put in the soup cup. What do you think it is? Qian Yan was surprised. Did you really ask? How could she tell you? The mountain man has his own plan. Sun Zihuai looked mysterious. I can make her lose her soul for a while, and she can say whatever she asks. System 666, it should be something like hypnotism, which can confuse this person and forget what happened in the middle. Lord Host, this person is not simple. As for telling the host to be careful, he felt that it was Sun Zihuai who should be careful. Sister, don't you want to know what's in the soup cup? What is it? Sun Zihuai lowered his voice. Ling Shurer spit, she is guilty now. Who made her meet your sister? She should be sick when she sees the soup recently. Sun Zihuai, do you accept this child? Qian Yan asked. Sun Zihuai lowered his head and looked at the 6-year-old child who was leaning next to Qian Yan, and squatted down when he saw it. Amazing, the fate of this child seems to have changed a lot. Obviously should be the phase of premature aging. How did he suddenly become the phase of the emperor? He raised his head to look at Qian Yan again. It was interesting, he was really right to follow him. He aimed his gaze at He Wenxuan's crib again, and after a while, he would come to see the little girl again, wondering if her fate had changed in the same way. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 9, No one can take her country away, 9. Chapter 9 No one can take her country away, 9. By the way, why did he forget to look at He Qingshan's face? Otherwise, go out and take a look later to see what's wrong with the fate of that thief-eyed guy. Come on, this kid is not bad. Sun Zihuai didn't refuse. How much he can learn depends on his understanding. The ugly thing is that he is not suitable for learning divination and fortune-telling, and other knowledge is fine. Sun Zihuai lowered his voice. The voice, I can teach him the art of the emperor. Anything. As long as this little brat can sit firmly in the emperor's seat, the original owner's wish can be considered fulfilled. He Wenxian meets Mr. He Wenxian. He Wenxian was only 6 years old, but he knew something, and immediately gave a big gift to Sun Zihuai. After He Wenxian left, Sun Zihuai whispered, last time when King Nan took the opportunity to attack, he was beaten back by his elder sister and killed by surprise. He took his life and destroyed his old nest. Now some little Luoluo don't care about it, it's a matter of fact. 2 points in the world, it stands to reason that the elder sister's side has the advantage. Sun Zihuai's eyes flashed, are you ready to take action after you have taken care of your body? Qian Yan glanced at Sun Zihuai, you are quite clear. It is about the life and death of the common people in the world, and it is the concern of every Sun's child. The task of the Sun's children is to go down the mountain to find Mingjun to help. I thought that Mingjun would not appear within 100 years, but I didn't expect to meet my sister. Sun Zihuai said the sound is lowered. At that moment, his neck was compared with a giant sword, he held his head up, his face was indifferent and he was not afraid of losing his head. In fact, he was very puzzled. Why did Qian Yan hold a rusty sword against his neck? Didn't he know that this kind of sword actually hurts? One sword will definitely not cut off the head, and if you cut it a few more times, the pain will not die, and it will scare people to death. Sister, your sword is rusted, should you sharpen it? Qian Yan, you forgot how the chain was cut for you before. Qian Yan took back the giant sword and leaned it aside. You're so good at guessing your mind, it's easy to die. Will you kill me? Sun Zihuai's eyes flashed with starlight. Sun's children, you are not afraid of death. As long as the world is stable, Ming Jun will be assisted and sacrifice one of the Sun's children, then why should you be afraid? Sun Zihuai's heartwarming appearance made Qian Yan treat him differently. I won't kill you. Sun Zihuai laughed happily, got close to Qian Yan, and his voice became milky again. I know that my sister is reluctant to kill me. It's more useful to keep it, at least to drain it before killing it. Can't be wasted. Sun Zihuai. Sun Zihuai taught He Wenxian, no one knows. I don't know if Sun Zihuai told He Wenxian, and He Wenxian didn't say anything. Qian Yan was very satisfied with this child at a young age, and he was very satisfied. To be an emperor is to have a scheming, and it is best to be a little more cruel. System 666 Week Reminder, Master Host, the original owner wanted the two children to be safe, so you don't have to do so many things. The greatest peace is to have everything under control. I become the emperor, and he will become the emperor in the future, and no one can threaten him. System 666 couldn't refute this. It sounded like there was nothing wrong, but it felt something was wrong. If the original owner knew what the reaction would be, no matter what the reaction is, it is estimated that the host can't help it. Alas, sigh. As a system, he is also struggling to survive. 3 months later, Qian Yan's body has almost recovered, and she is about to go out again. End of this chapter. All aspects are kneeling and begging the villain heroine to be a person. Chapter 10, No one can take her country away, 10. Chapter 10 No one can take her country away, 10. Yenner, you must triumph, I will wait for you. He Qing Shan said excitedly and worriedly, as if Qian Yan was the only one in those eyes. Actually, they haven't seen each other very much in the past few months. Qian Yan trains all day and doesn't take the initiative to find him. He Qing Shan can't wait. He will still give her various things as usual every day, so that she will not feel ignored. In the past few months, Ling Shire seldom accompanied him, mainly because he was afraid that he would remember the disgusting thing before. Because of the memory, Qian Yan took the army to avoid many traps, and then quickly attacked the next cities. No one could resist. Her heroic and invincible deeds shocked the world. There is even a rumor that if you get a cloud and 1,000 geese, you can win the world. The men all over the world are very envious of He Qing Shan for having such a wife who does not allow men. If they had known this, they would have married her first, beating their chests with regret. Sir, when will my mother come back? He Wenxian said thoughtfully, it's been several years, and my mother still hasn't come back. I miss my mother. Sun Zihuai was still standing on a high place in white clothes, with the words, "Don't enter strangers," all over his body, but He Wenxian was used to it and was not afraid at all. Sun Zihuai looked at the brightest purple star in the sky, constantly suppressing the other stars next to it with light, and said with a smile, "Come soon." Recently, many stars have fallen. Sister is really a star hunter. He seems to have become the most useless person in the Sun clan. He doesn't need to help each other at all, and he can easily win the whole world for convenience. No, he also has some use, watching her children at home. Sir, that star is really bright. What kind of star is that? Ziwei Xing. Sun Zihuai's eyes brightened when he said this. It is also the Emperor star. The existence of this star represents the existence of Ming Jun, and the world is peaceful. In the near future, the world will be unified, and the people will not displaced by the war. They can live and work in peace and contentment. Is that Daddy? Xuan Zihuayan shook his head lightly, looking like an expert, making it impossible for people to guess his intentions, and said in an ethereal voice, I don't know, it's determined by God. Shit. How could it be that thief? Daydreaming? He deserves it. Teach this child more about aesthetics, it's too bad. I believe mother will succeed. He Wenqian clenched his small fist, "Mother is the best." Sun Zihuai smiled lightly, he had already seen Qian Yan's thoughts, He Qingshan's ending was self-evident, his star was dimmed a long time ago. He Wenqian was a little silent, "Father doesn't seem to like me, I dare not tell my mother, for fear that my mother will be worried and sad." Sun Zihuai did not answer, "One day this child will understand." Several days passed in the blink of an eye. Qian Yan had already captured more than 30 cities at this time, and the opponent only had 5 cities left, and almost the entire world belonged to her. "General, this city is the center of the Central Plains. It is rich in resources and easy to defend and difficult to attack. It is perfect for being a capital city." Qian Yan nodded in agreement, "I also have the same intention. Bring a pen and paper, and let the king and the others move over, and it will be safer." Qian Yan wrote in the letter about her arrangement. The troops were divided into 2 groups. He Qingshan and his confidants quietly walked on the small road, while her father, 2 children, and Sun Zihuai walked on the main road. She wrote in the letter that this was for the safety of He Qingshan. King Chang's side is now at the end of the road, and there may be a fish and a net. She believed that with such an explanation, He Qingshan would definitely leave with someone secretly. It turned out to be divided into 2 roads, He Qingshan still took the small road, and the 2 children took the big road. The original owner was worried about He Qingshan's safety and asked her father to protect He Qingshan. As a result, her father died to protect He Qingshan. This time, He Qingshan shouldn't be able to escape, right? If King Chang killed He Qingshan, it would be even better, she could come to avenge her husband and kill King Chang, justifiably, and everyone in the world would support her. In this way, He Qingshan can be considered to be dead. System 666, the host is really wise and talented. Less yin and yang weirdness. System 666 immediately shut up and did not dare to speak. He really praised him, and the host misunderstood. "Yenna really thinks about me everywhere, although I don't want to do it, but only by doing this can I go to Fengqin more safely." He Qingshan said reluctantly, "Father-in-law, please take care of the 2 children." Yun Yangan, "What are you talking about? This is my grandson, even if I try my best to protect them." Sun Zihuai silently calculated a hexagram in his sleeve, and then saw He Qingshan's expression full of pity. See you tomorrow. End of this chapter.